What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. There is no doubt in early access the pet to have on your builders is the Mr. Mine Rock Pet. This pet is going to drop from Wave 15 or achieving Wave 15 in the Ancient Mines Survival. Now, you're going to want to do this one a lot. The good ones are super rare, and you're going to see a whole lot of junky ones before you find a really nice rock. So the grind is in order, and as when the grind is usually in order, it means you're going to have to do this map a ton of times. Now luckily this is actually the second map in the entire setup of maps. It's very easy to get to wave 15 on this map, even with just mediocre gear, and that is going to lead to some AFK or semi-AFK setups that you're going to want to take. That way you can get your grind on and get as many runs of this map as possible, but in the same time not have to really work too hard on it as you're doing other things. Now, as you see, I normally set up with walls on each of the lanes. I throw down an electric aura and strength drain aura on one side, and then head on over and just manually kill the mobs over here until I get enough mana to throw down another electric aura for over on this side. Now, this particular map does have a bit of delay right here in the middle of wave 1, so we just kind of have to sit it out and wait for the mobs to come, but once they get here, we will without a doubt finish up the build and snag all the available mana that we can get. And here comes the final wave of bads. We only need a little bit more. We can get that strength drain aura on this side as well, and that will kind of close the deal for what we want to get accomplished in wave number 1. With that electric aura and strength drain aura, even with relatively low stats, it's going to burn through these wave 1 mobs without any real issue. Now we're going to go ahead and switch over to an apprentice and go ahead and just start the wave, and I am going to drop a Deadly Striker Tower right behind in this little cutaway. Now the reason I'm doing this is anything in here is not going to have line of sights to the ogres, of course, which means no ogre snot balls, and ogre snot balls can lead to repairs, which means you're not going to be on Netflix and chill mode. So we're just going to grab a little bit of the starting mana and get a second DST over on this side. This one we are hiding behind this large rock formation here, as the DST does shoot through walls, and then it is time for Netflix. So I'm going to come over right behind this one and just chill a little until we get to like wave number 5. Alright, and here we go. I actually ended up running through to wave 6. Now, the measure of what wave you come back in and check on things really is dependent on your gear and how much aura health you have. As you see, I'm approaching the halfway mark here, so figured it's time to pop in, throw a repair on each of those auras, but we're also going to be able to finish up the build. Now I'm going to throw a gas trap over here, and I want it back pretty far. The reason being is I don't want any enemies getting stunned outside of my electric aura, so make sure you put it right back in between the walls there. With careful placement, you can actually have it cover both lanes. However, it is kind of nice just to have a gas trap on that far lane, which I'll get to why here in just one moment. Now we're just going to throw an upgrade on everything. No repairs here really, just upgrading. As, you know, when it gets low enough where it needs a repair, just upgrade it instead and it's GG. And then we're going to throw 2 additional Deadly Strikers on each side, still hidden, of course, behind its appropriate rock. So I'm going to throw a few upgrades around and then come over and get 2 more Deadly Strikers over this side. Same thing, it's hidden in the little cubby there, and then I'm just going to blow the rest of the mana on upgrades on these DSTs. So we can go ahead and let it fly. Now the reason I put the gas trap on that far lane was because with the position of the DSTs here, this middle lane is actually going to be closer, so it's going to get target priority. Which means if there's a lot of mobs coming in the far lane, they could push down to that wall. The gas trap, of course, is going to stop that from happening, and this will allow you just to chillax till right around that wave 10 or 11 mark. And here we are on wave number 10. Now, once again, where you stop and go through an upgrade is going to be dependent on how much health you have on your auras, and really the aura health is the only thing you really have to pay attention to in this situation. So we're going to go through, once again, throw an upgrade on everything. You want to make sure not to upgrade your gas trap where it's so large, where it's outranging your electric aura, as once again, you want those stunned enemies to be getting hit by that electric aura. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the mana available here. We'll throw upgrades onto this lane as well. And then I want to take everything that's left here and dump it all into these DSTs. Now from here on out, the run is going to be dependent on your gear. In some cases, you may have to go through and upgrade and or repair every wave, depending on the level of gear that you personally have. For me, it's pretty chillax mode at the moment, and I'm going to let this go through for a couple more waves and probably pop back in at wave 12 for another round of repairs or upgrades. And here we are on wave 12 now, ready to rinse and repeat the exact same thing. So we're going to upgrade each one of those auras. Not going to worry about the gas trap this time, but I am going to hit each one of the walls just to be safe. Grab all of the available mana, and then get the same thing done on the other side. Now this is going to leave us with a truckload of mana, and we're going to have more than enough to get the DSTs upgraded all the way. Now remember, this entire setup of when you pop back in to get those upgrades or repairs done would be completely dependent on your gear. Now we're full upped on DSTs over here already. This side could use a little bit of love. And now we should be good just to chillax it out. Probably all the way to wave 14. Depending on your gear, at this point you may have to go through and do repairs or upgrades on every single break in between waves. Now, I didn't upgrade, or I didn't take my auras all the way up to full just because I wanted to do quick repairs or quick upgrades and not have to worry about repairs. Of course, if you do look over and you have to do that during combat phase, then those repairs are going to go really slow and upgrades are much quicker in the way to go. So let's chillax it out a little bit more and see if we can't go to wave 14. And here we are in wave 14 and our final wave. We take a look at those auras and see where they're at. So now that this is the final wave, I'm just going to go ahead and dump all of the mana I have and get all my stuff upgraded all the way up. Let's grab another little bit out of this stockpile here. And we should be able to get everything nice and juicy now. The main thing I'm worried about, of course, is the auras and the walls. That gas trap I'm just going to go ahead and hit 2 just to make sure. And as you see, we've got just an absolute pile sitting over here as well. So let's grab all that mana, get all of the full ups in place. We're in pretty good shape. Let's just blow the rest of it, and then away we go for the last and final wave. Now, important thing to note, make sure you're standing down low. Do not jump up on top of your towers to AFK, because remember, the Ogre Snotballs are AoE, so if you jump up top there, you're going to be giving the Ogre a target, which is in turn going to hit your towers. In addition to that, this build is not designed for completing all the way through wave 25. It's just too much single target damage with not enough to burn the packs. And as the packs of mobs get heavier and heavier with greater mob counts, it's going to make this particular build less and less viable. However, with just about any set of gear, even if it's just like entry level, unupgraded, insane gear that you got from Deeper Well Survival, you're going to be able to complete a good solid rock run with this build. Your level of AFK will be dependent on your gear. So the higher your gear, the more AFK you go. Let's just chillax it out here and get ourselves another rock. And we are just about at the end here, just letting these last few mobs burn off so we can take a look at our hotness. Now once again, dependent on your gear, this build will work just in entry-level stuff if you actually participate. However, with a decent set of gear, you can just go completely AFK using a strategy like this. So let's check out our reward and see what we got. Looks like it's a blue quality one, which is not going to be quite what we're looking for. But not a terrible rock there. That's a really strong starter rock, in fact, but not quite to the level of what I particularly am looking for. So that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I will be putting builds up that I'm using regularly on all of the maps in time. However, if there's anything you want to see right away, make sure you post it up down in the comments below. So thanks again, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.